Greetings, welcome to our series of weekly devotionals. This week we're looking at some verses in the book of the prophet Isaiah and sort of offering some thoughts about the prophetic call of Isaiah and the prophetic call that we are indeed all called to undertake as people of faith. When a scene from a favorite movie of mine, Good Will Hunting. Will Hunting, played by Matt Damon, is someone who has crafted for himself a very rough exterior that he won't let anybody past, and it's because of deep insecurities and basically a feeling of inferiority that he has done this. He was abused by his father as a kid, and so he feels sort of worthless and won't let anybody in. And in this one scene, the therapist, played by Robin Williams, just says to Will over and over again, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault." And at first, Will says, "Yeah, I know it's not my fault." But eventually, as he keeps repeating that refrain, "It's not your fault," over and over again, Will Hunting breaks down and lets Robin Williams' character in and begins to let go of those years of shame and feeling less than worthy. I mentioned that scene because of the next verse in chapter 6. The prophet Isaiah says, "And I said, woe is me, I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips, yet my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." Despite the prophetic call that Isaiah has been given by God, he feels unworthy, not up to the task. And I remember in my own life when it has come to trying to serve God, ministry, trying to do what I believe God has called me to do, I've often felt unqualified for those things. And I know that I've often used that lack of qualification as an excuse for not pursuing what I felt God was calling me to do. Who am I? I'm not up to the task. God will just have to find somebody better. But in the next two verses, God does this. "Then one of the seraphs flew to me, holding a live coal that had been taken from the altar with a pair of tongs. The seraph touched my mouth with it and said, 'Now that this has touched your lips, your guilt has departed and your sin is blotted out.'" God acknowledges the sinfulness of Isaiah, as of all creation, but forgives, wipes out the sin, and lets Isaiah know there's no more need to feel guilty or ashamed, no need to blame. Let it go and move on to what God has called you to do. And the same is true for us. Quite frankly, none of us are qualified to do really what God calls us to do. And yet, when it comes to the imperfect, mistake-prone creatures that we all are, who else can God call? There is only us. And despite the fact that we are sinners, we are also all saints. And despite the imperfections and mistakes that we make, we are called not to blame, shame, or guilt, or feelings of unworthiness, but we are called to receive God's forgiveness and to understand that despite our imperfections, we are still called to serve God. Amen.